Okay, we're going to talk about the pot sector here. One of the members has asked about it, and we see a couple of the stocks are popping here. So now I'm not quite sure if there's some new news out on pot, why we're getting this move in it. But let's just start with CGC. We can see that. Well, let's talk about the fundamentals of pot first. We know that a month or so ago, the federal government passed a law, brought into action to legalize marijuana. Now that's several of the states. I think there's 12 states or something like that already have legalized pot. What this does is makes a big change for the banking sector. They're going to be able to take deposits from pot stock or companies that sell pot. Before they couldn't because it was federally regulated and was a big problem. But this changes that story. But the problem is, one of the problems is, and a lot of these companies are Canadian companies, is that the sale of pot has not met expectations. And eventually, after all the hype is gone, which was this area up in here, the companies have to perform. And if they don't perform, they sell off. And they got into this big downtrending channel. And because, one, they weren't getting the sales that they had anticipated for several reasons. One, people just weren't changing their buying habits. They were still buying from their drug dealers, local drug dealers, because there wasn't good supply and it was more expensive, double the cost of the black market pot. And the same thing has happened in California. There's the pot, the legal pot is double the price of the black market pot. So they're just not getting the sales. But then something changed. We get this we're in this big downtrending channel, and we get this big capitulation. But we get a big reversal bar here, big engulfing bar. So he gaps down to the bottom of the channel. Big engulfing bar, and in a sense, this is an island reversal. Pops, makes a V-bottom right-hand extension, and now taking off again. And it has broken out of this declining tops line and into this area. So this is where I think this is where the federal government passed the law. So maybe we're anticipating that we'll get a change in direction for pot stocks. Reverse head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder, popping out. Or a V-bottom right-hand extension now popping. This is probably looking like it's time to do a swing trade on CGC. There is a lot of resistance in this area here for it, right around 21 5/8 and then 22 1/2. I may have to wait for that. I'm not sure. Let's just see how this pans out. It is up 79 cents today, though. So this chart is starting to look bullish. Huge decline, capitulation, V-bottom, right-hand extension, breaking out of the channel and holding support here at the 1950-20 area. So that looks good, actually. CGC probably is a swing trade in here, and I'm just watching it. And the thing is, whether we put it on here at 21 or we put it on here at 22, up here or 22 1/2, if it's going back to 60, you're better off to know that it's going rather than anticipate that it's going. It's one thing about anticipation, it can bite you. It can come back and bite you. Let's see what TLRY is doing. Because now, is it up because of it's up 96 cents. This still is an ugly chart. Still ugly. There's nothing in this chart that says you should be buying this. Huge declining channel here. I mean, if this is the angle, I mean, this thing, it's the bottom of the channel is like 10. So we'll see. I mean, if it holds support here, I mean, I'm not looking to buy this stock. It needs to hold support here at 18, and then maybe it does change directions and gets out up through this level here, 2163. Then we could look at maybe doing something with this. This thing traded to $300. I mean, it was just all hype. There was no reason for it to do that, except unabated exuberance. The other one here, Cron, it's up 43 cents today. These are just the sort of the main players. Now, the Cron also is in this big declining channel here. It's had the odd pop up through, ignoring those. But we can see that it is right at the wedge here now. So find out, is this a bear flag, bear wedge? Or is it going to change directions? We'll know shortly. It needs to get up through this area here, 750. It breaks this declining tops line and through lateral resistance. Then this may be over 8, maybe a trade for, moves up to 10 and 5/8, 12 and a half, 13 and a half. It's a slow mover, this one. It's not necessarily big. But this is getting close to, to maybe changing direction. But at the moment, it is not changing direction. ACB, now this is a billion share market cap or something, or a billion shares, not outstanding. I mean, there's nothing in here that would say buy this stock. This is a bear flag. Same here. I mean, this was a bear flag here. It was in this big downtrending channel like this, broke out to the bottom of the channel, came down, popped it back up a bit, came off, flag, bear flag, pops down, pop back up, the resistance fails, now wedging. This looks like it's going lower. I mean, that would be my best guess on ACB. I wouldn't be looking to try to buy ACB in here, that's for sure. Nothing in there that says that's a buy. Probably goes out of business before it becomes a buy. Let's see what else is there. Well, this Village Farms, let's see what it's doing. See, same thing. Big, long declining tops line, or channel. Bear wedging in here right now. That's a bear flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe fifth wave consolidation. If it can hold that level and break out of this channel, then maybe the story changes. But for now, this is just mid-channel and looks like it wants to roll over and trade lower. No reason to be buying VFF either in here. And then my favorite pot stock, new pot stock, GRNF, pink sheet. This is a Jim Dandy. This is going back to zero. It's a pump and dump pot stock, claiming it's going to be $1 billion next year. Usually a good sign it's going lower. Anyway, so there's sort of an update on the main pot stocks. And then if those ones go, then the others fall in place behind them.